This is Cameron. Just going to start doing some cooking clips for all my clients and anyone else that's interested. Today's going to be my first one. I've had a lot of interest with the chocolate I make. Sometimes if I go to a barbecue or a friend's place, I'll make up some chocolate to bring along rather than, you know, some biscuits or dips and stuff like that. So today we're going to be going through how to make the chocolate, because I've had lots of people asking for the recipe, and I find even sometimes when I give them the recipe they still struggle to put it together, so this should make it nice and easy for everybody. So watch along, this is going to be great. Okay, so this is what you need. Coconut oil. Usually buy mine in bulk, so we've got probably about 3 litres there. Next is raw cacao powder, cacao butter, a little bit of salt. I use maple syrup to sweeten it, but you can use agave syrup or molasses or anything you like. Some cream. So we're going to need a whisk, a scraper, and a saucepan. Right, so what we got on the heat, just a low heat, 250 grams of the cacao butter. And just on a low heat just to try and melt that up. So we want to try and keep it as raw as possible. Our next step, wanting about 250 grams worth of coconut oil also. Okay, there's the coconut oil and the cocoa butter, and we're just going to keep it on that low temperature and just move it around until it just all melts into a liquid. Coconut oil and the cocoa butter is nice and melted, so the next thing we're going to do, slowly add in the cocoa powder. So you've probably got about 500 mils worth of oil in there now, 250 of the cocoa butter and 250 of coconut oil. I'm probably going to need about 400 grams, maybe 500 grams of the cocoa powder. I normally just keep mixing until I sort of find that consistency where it'd be like melted chocolate. So we'll just add some of this in now. Mix it in. Beautiful, so here we are. This is the consistency you're sort of after, so it looks like now like it is melted chocolate like you'd normally have. So we've got the oil in there, the cocoa powder, it's all whisked through so it's nice and smooth, there's no sort of lumpy bits at all. So now we're just going to start adding some salt. So I use some salt because I find it takes off the bitterness of the chocolate. So again, with a lot of my cooking, I just sort of add to flavour. So I'll add a good sort of, you know, nice pinch to that. Stir that through. And then the next thing we're going to add is look at the sweetener. So here we have some maple syrup, some nice organic stuff. So we're just going to add some of that through. And again, we'll just keep mixing it in until you get to the taste that you're after. Give it a good little whisk. So this is the fun bit, get to give it a bit of a taste. Alright, bit more of each. So the other thing as well I used that I forgot to mention was some molasses. So normally about 2 dessert spoons full of molasses, and that'll go straight in there as well. Just gives it a unique little flavour. So now you can see the chocolate's starting to look like melted chocolate and starting to get the consistency that you're probably used to. So the next thing we're now going to do, I normally add, what's this, about 300 mils of pure cream. And this just helps thin it out. If you're vegan or want to go dairy free, this is the product, and you just put that into a container from here and then straight into the freezer. But you know, I like mine a little bit creamier and it just takes off that richness of it. So I'm going to slowly add maybe a tablespoon at a time, and I'm going to mix that through just so it takes to it, and then once its cream's all mixed through, then I'll add another teaspoon through or a tablespoon and continue mixing it up until all the 300 mils of the cream is added into it. So here we go, there's about a tablespoon of cream in there. So we're just going to slowly mix this through. Beautiful. Nice. So now that's all nice and mixed through, I'm going to get another tablespoon and continue till I've done my 300 mils. That's it. All the cream's in there. That's our final product. Give it a little bit of a taste, see how it goes. Magic. If you wanted from here, I sometimes do a peppermint chocolate or an orange chocolate. You just need to find a good quality essence. Young Living do some really good essences, and I'm trustworthy that I can consume those orally, so I'm going to add just maybe 10 to 20 drops depending on how strong you want it, but just start off with 5 drops, give it a taste, and continue adding it until it's at that point that you want. So in the next point, what we're going to do here is just transfer this into something that I can put into the freezer. So I've just got a glass sort of a container here, and what I'm going to do to start with, just get some coconut oil. I'm just going to sort of rub it all around the container, just so that when it goes into the freezer and it sets, when it wants to come out, at least it's going to come out nice and smooth. Okay, so now what we're going to just talk about now is just some of the benefits of the chocolate I've just made. So the first thing is the raw cacao. Cacao butter is amazing stuff. You know how they say red wine is very high in antioxidants? So the cacao powder also has the same ingredient, which is the resveratrol. So very high in antioxidants. The other thing is very high in magnesium also, and it's also got caffeine in there too. So if you want a nice little pick-me-up, something like this, a pre-workout snack or even pre-competition snack. The next thing we got in there as well, we got sea salt. Sea salt, the one that I use is a Himalayan sea salt. There's 84 different trace minerals and elements, from magnesium to sodium and the rest of them as well. So, which is fantastic for our body. It really helps get the minerals back. The next thing we got also there is coconut oil. Coconut for me is a fantastic product. So coconut's a medium chain fatty acid to start with. So medium chain fatty acids, when you digest them, they go straight into your blood supply and used as energy. They don't go through your liver and then stored as fat at all. So that's the first. The next thing is an antimicrobial, antifungal, antibacterial. Coconut oil also has another ingredient in there which is called lauric acid. And the only other place you find lauric acid is in breast milk. So this sort of combination of the resveratrol, the antioxidants, the sea salt, all the minerals that you have there, the coconut oils, everything mixed together to make this chocolate is just amazing. I hope you guys enjoy it.
If the words that love you ever ask you to